Now, the Labor veteran head of industry super, Greg Combay, is backing Labor's kind of now discarded plans to revamp superannuation. He says the money saved by clamping down on tax concessions for the wealthy could be better spent helping projects for the poor. Chris, you've written a fascinating column on this topic this week, and you point out that one of the areas many journalists haven't been talking about is just how Labor's proposals could benefit their Labor mates, who are, so many of them, who are employed in industry super funds.
Well, that's right. The industry funds are not like normal retail funds. And I think one of the big problems, Sharri, is that many of their investments are in CBD office space. So when you see the ad for the industry super fellow who's telling his daughter that, you know, he built that building over there, that's actually quite right. A lot of their investments are in those sorts of buildings. But of course, in a downturn, CBD property is not liquid in the way shares are liquid. So shares are bought and sold every day, and we know their price every day. In a downturn, we don't know the value of any building. Now, to that adds Greg Combay, you know, more talk about social investment, so social housing and more things to do with green energy. Now, he did say in his piece in the Fin and in his quotes in the Oz that, you know, these would depend on proper returns to superannuants. But I think it is dangerous, and I wonder at the logic of not letting young people who can't afford to buy their own home access to their super so that they could end up being homeowners, but then driving that same money into much less performing social housing, which will never earn any individual super holder the sort of money that their own private house will earn.
Yeah, I know this, you know, Anthony Albanese on the project on Sunday night largely killed off any plans for super changes. He said it was now hypothetical, despite the government and the Treasurer, you know, spending a week talking about it. But do you think there would have been a case for changes to tax concessions for people who had millions in their super accounts? You know, if the Treasurer
I actually think they have decided to do that. Yeah, look, I think they have decided to do that today, haven't they? I think Anthony has said that they will impose the 30% tax on any funds over $3 million. What I'd say about this, Sharri, is, you know, people aren't stupid, so they'll move their money to where they can get the concessions they want. And a lot of people will take the view, well, you know, more than $3 million, who needs that for their super? I also think, though, that there's a case that, you know, people who've got 400 million or up 100 million in their super are quite different from people who've got 3 million in their super. So, I mean, running a class war argument like this can have its downsides and can backfire. And I think one of the potential backfires is that the money moves into other tax shelters and we simply lose the money to super.
Chris Mitchell, thank you very much for joining me.